And we start a little bit earlier than I anticipated because I just don't have the patience to wait. I told you in the Discord server 15 minutes, but we start a little bit more early. Yeah, I waited for 20 people to gather. These days, there are not too many people watching. I mean, less than usual. Why? Because they are, I think, because it's summer. People are on vacation. They don't care about this stuff anymore, which they should care a little bit, since when you stop sculpting, you want to be good, right? You want to be a good sculptor, yeah. When you stop sculpting, you will not achieve that, you know. You don't have, you shouldn't stop. You always should sculpt. Of course, 1 week or 2 weeks vacation without any sculpting, without anything, would not kill you, definitely. But it will definitely deteriorate your skills a little bit at least. If you're a beginner, maybe a lot. If you're a master, not so much, and you will be able to gain those skills in about a couple of hours afterwards. So, yeah, like, you know, skills, all the skills in the world, doesn't matter if it's sculpting, drawing, writing even, they require practice to hone those skills. It's the same as muscles. So when you are a runner, for example, you're running 100 meters and you have to be fast. And you are fast, you're very fast, you're faster than most. But then you stop training for some reason, for a little bit, like a couple of months. And then when you go back, you're not as fast anymore. Because you don't train. It's the same with the skill, with the sculpting, with almost everything. Probably everything. Even with the riding bike. They say, riding bike, you never forget this. You know, you always know how to ride a bike. That's true. But to ride it well, you need, again, practice. So yeah, determination and practice is your key. And I will always say that. I'm saying that. I was saying that before. And I will continue, most likely, to say that. And what I'm doing here is, many people are thinking this probably is an old man. And they will be right. For now, it looks like an old man. Not so old, but still, man. We will try to do it, to make it look like a female, in a couple of minutes, which probably will not happen, but we'll see. This is... And usually when you start working on a face, always in the beginning it will look like a male. Unless you are a very, very good, you have a lot of practice, you're an amazing artist, then maybe you'll be able to make it look like a woman almost from the start. And I envy you, because usually I cannot do it, and my sculpts look a little bit malish in the beginning. And why is that? Because, you know, it's in the Bible. First there was a male, Adam. Then was the female, Eve. The same is with the sculpt. You start with the sphere. God probably didn't start with the sphere, but we don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he started with the sphere. And then we do first male, and then from the male we do a female, as we are doing. So yeah, Bible said that. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's a fiction, of course. Maybe it's not true, but there is always a little bit of true, even in fiction, you know. Yeah, every fiction is based on some true stuff. For example, let's take for example monsters. The monsters, which are classic monsters, every one of them is kinda resembling dead people, like skulls and corpses. Those are the classic monsters. Frankenstein, for example, looks like a badly damaged human being, you know. And yeah, monster. So, or they look like some kind of vipers, like the vampires with those teeth they have. So everything is based on reality. Even the Bible, I guess, as a very famous fiction book. It's probably based on reality. Okay, the eyes, I will not be able to do them in this resolution, but I'm gonna at least put some base for them. At least that. Okay, the nose is kinda hard to do, and it will determine whether we are succeeding in this endeavor to do this girl or not. Because the nose, her nose is a little bit specific, but I will try to make it more female-ish, so... And how? Just a little bit shorter, a little bit on a bigger angle, like upwards, and we probably will get somewhere. Uncertain, but true. Unsaid, but true. Alright, this is her cheekbones. Not exactly the cheekbones, those are mostly the cheek fat here, but it's coming from the cheekbones, so we may say those are the cheekbones, which they're not. But as I said, you know, the ears probably should be a little bit forward, or the overall head maybe a little bit more backward, and also we might need a little bit smaller neck. Now I will do this kind of a collar that she has. The collar is very important for this character exactly, because it has a lot to do with her silhouette and shapes and even colors, although it's black and white. But still those kind of blackish color thing are important. Okay. She looks a little bit more female-ish in the concept, unlike what I have done, but we will try to do something about it. How are you doing, Nico? I'm doing fine, I'm just thirsty. What's your favorite superhero? Probably Deadpool, but I like many of them. I even start to like Klaus. Klaus, if somebody don't know, is one of the superheroes from the Umbrella Academy. He can summon the dead. Something like this is his power. And in the beginning of the series on Netflix, because there are comics and everything, but I watch it on Netflix. In the beginning of the series, he was complete trash. But with the development of the series, he became pretty interesting character after all. But in the beginning, he was, yeah, a junkie. But then, he developed into a very interesting person. Klaus. But Deadpool is probably my favorite superhero. But why do we like superheroes? There is this... everybody wants kind of to have superpowers like super strength, super speed, or flight, you know, to be able to fly. This is a dream of every child, and even if we don't admit it, most grown-ups also have this kind of dreams, probably. The nose is maybe a little bit too big. That's why the Avengers, one of the Avengers movie, I think the Endgame, so the last one, was one of the most profitable movies at all time. Couple of $1 billion of profit from the movie. Because of this wish. It's interesting. And also they developed the characters pretty well. From the previous movies and everything, and everybody wants to see how everything ends. they have to capitalize again and make more movies about the Avengers, about Iron Man, about everyone. Some prequels or whatever, it will be also profitable. Maybe not as much as the end game, but still will be some profits. Okay, now she is looking awkward, but maybe this is because she doesn't have any hair. With hair, maybe she will look a little bit more like the concept. And let's see how much time do we have. Now we have worked for 10 minutes. Or by we, I mean I have worked for 10 minutes. You have watched for 10 minutes. Now, 10 minutes are a good amount of time, I would say. For 10 minutes, many things can happen, but most of the time, for 10 minutes, you cannot do a good face at all. Me, on the other hand, I usually can do relatively nice face for 10 minutes. Most people probably will not be able to. Not that I'm bragging, but I'm bragging. Exactly, I'm doing that. I'm bragging, and that's it. You cannot say it I'm not, because I am. But she still looks like a male in my eyes. Even in my eyes. The eyes of the artist, usually when he works on the art, are not so critical. You know, you cannot see many things. But I see the manly face right now. So I will try to make it a little less manly by making sure the chin is smaller, pushing the upper lip more up. And now she's looking a bit younger and a bit not so manly. I'm not trying to say that one of the genders is better than the others. Don't get me wrong. Many people will say probably, yeah, cancel Nico because he's saying that females are better than male and he wants to make a female or something, whatever. Yeah. But those people, they will always find something. So it's we shouldn't care about it that much. Now it's going somewhere. The eyes are usually half of sphere, kind of, from the bottom when we look. So we're doing that. Here we are making a flat plane on the bottom of the nostrils. And somebody said, can you tell us which tools you are using, why you're using them, just to see how you think. I usually do that in my courses. You can find them in the description of this video, in some of the links. One of the links is in the courses, other links is for the Discord server, from where we will see the ArtStation portfolios of different people, and we will laugh at them just in a couple of minutes. We will mock them and laugh at them as we always do. This is all about making those people leave this profession because they don't deserve to be sculptors. That's why we're doing this, you know, ArtStation reviews, portfolio reviews, or to show them what they can do better. Maybe some of those things. I'm not sure exactly which one. To make them quit or to show them how they can do it better. But one of them is true, most likely. So don't worry. We'll get there at some point. And suddenly, she is now she. Maybe not as she as the concept, but usually that's the case. Usually we cannot make the she as the concept. And when I'm saying she, I mean one of the genders, one of the older genders. Yeah, now we can differentiate the genders for all genders. The old genders were two, male and female. Then one of the more younger genders was she-male, probably, if it's a gender. And then now we have a lot of other genders, like I identify as a hairbrush. I identify as a big brush. I don't know. It's interesting, but I am not exactly understanding those things, and I'm not trying to. Why? Because I don't need. I don't need to understand those genders, since in Bulgaria, in my country, we don't have them actually. And if you go to Russia, for example, you will find that in Russia, you don't have them either. You will go to Belarus, for example. Why not? You will not find them there. You will go to Turkey. Why not? It will be difficult to find them there. Go to North Korea, for example. Those genders, they will not be there. You know, those genders exist only in some modern, more developed societies, and those societies which don't have too much other issues than to brag about their difference in gender or whatever. We have other issues here. What to eat tomorrow, for example, how to feed our children, and stuff like this. It's just a different thing, you know. I'm sure that in India also they don't have too much different genders, you know. Just a few. Female and male, which usually are the normal ones. And I don't know which subject is better and safer. Subject of religion or subject of genders, because on both I'm sure there are people who will find it interesting, and they will find it difficult to restrain themselves of commenting about this, because many people have a lot of comments about the different genders. You have to respect the genders. You have to respect religion. But yeah, I respect religion. I respect genders. I don't understand genders. I understand religion though, because I have my understanding of the religion. If I have to be more precise, you know, my understanding of religion probably is not the same as your understanding of religion, but I understand it, and I know why people are religious. There are many reasons, and I kind of understand, so it's fine. How many times do we have? We have many times, but how many times do we have is the question. We have a little bit more than 10 minutes left to work on this amazing sculpt now. Let me just color the hair and see what we can do from it. Color. Good. Color this. Now immediately she looks a little bit more interesting with those colors. And now, if somebody is asking questions in the chat, I'm sure that Seri from Bahrat will answer everything. Brother Nico, how is your desk universe? Are there any new items added to it? My dog, it's not very new, but I've shown it to you before. This is my dog. It's a very good dog. It doesn't eat anything at home. It's a pretty good dog, I would say. One of the best dogs. Other than that, not so much. By the way, this dog is made by me, sculpted by me. It's printed by one of my best friends. I know him for more than 20 years. Pesho from Turnovo. Pesho from Turnovo is he's also sculpting. He's using Blender, 3D Max, whatever. He's a 3D artist also. He can draw, or at least he was able to draw back in the days. Nowadays, I'm not sure, because I'm not sure even for myself if I can draw anymore. But it doesn't matter. So he also 3D prints. He's one of the probably most knowledgeable people of 3D printing in Bulgaria. So he printed it. but it's on my design. I designed it and I sculpted it. The dog. And some people say it's a rabbit because of the little bit longer ears, but it's actually a dog. And yeah, maybe the legs also look a little bit like a rabbit legs at some point. Maybe it's something in between rabbit and leg. Rabbit and dog. Maybe rabbit and leg, who knows. She's not looking as good as the concept. I'm sorry guys, I failed you. You can say Nico now is not as good as he was back in the days. This is not the Nico that we know anymore. He failed us. Okay, the mouth, I will make it a bit bigger. Like this. A little bit more smile. Inflate this area here. Good job. The nose, let's see what we can do with the nose. Maybe the chin. We have to make it smaller and narrower. Here we will make this sharp edge. Sharp edges are important for many reasons. We will go like this and this. And I'm now watching the concept. Just watching the concept, watching my work. Watching the concept, watching my work. And this, in this way, I can kind of try to figure out my mistakes, get a little bit closer to the concept. Stuff like this, which most people forget to do. But of course, if I was not in a hurry, if I have like 2 hours to do it, probably it will be even closer to the concept. A little bit closer, not too much. That's the problem. You have a certain amount of work. For example, I work for 1 hour on certain concept, 1 hour. And I do it for, let's say, 85%. 85% of the resemblance is there, for example, for 1 hour. Then if I work for 1 more hour, I will get just 5% more. And the more hours you put, the less effective it will be. You will get a little bit of percentage for a lot of hours after the first couple of hours. But this is with everything, not only with sculpting. But you will agree that she is pretty similar for 23 actual minutes. And for 23 actual minutes, I think we will stop. I usually write in the title 30 minutes, but we don't need 30 minutes. I think this is completely enough for us. Because this is just a warm-up sculpt, just to you know, for me to have the opportunity to speak about certain things that are on my head, and then we go to our station reviews. But first I will go through the questions in the chat. Nico, have you tried sculpting in VR? No, I haven't. Я gay, я gay, я gay, я gay. Which means I'm gay in Russian. So that's good, but you don't have to say. I mean, will you see somebody said, I'm straight, I'm straight, I'm straight, and you pushing it into your head, you know, pushing it, I'm straight, I like women, you know, some men. No. So in order to be a normal gay, just don't push it into other people's faces. It's fine, you know. Got so much better so quickly. Yeah, it got a little bit better. I mean, she still look a little bit male-ish, I would say. Not completely female, but it's not bad, so we will just... okay. Yeah, the forehead is too rounded, but she's a male. She's a female. If I do this thing here, she will look even more manly. On the concept, she has that, but it's not right. I think it's not a good idea. Nico question, for a mobile game, let's say something like Subway Surfers or any endless runner game, what poly count budget would you say is good optimization to run on almost all phones? For the character, probably around, since this is only one character on the screen at all times mostly, maybe 15,000 triangles will be enough. Nico is LGBTQ. Of course. What's your opinion on LGBTQ? I am LGBTQ. I don't know what is this exactly, but it's very cool. LGBTQ. No, I know this is some kind of different genders or whatever. It's fine. My opinion is everybody can do. In my opinion, everybody can do whatever they want, can be whatever they want, if they don't push it and shove it into other people's faces. It's completely fine. If they don't go and attack Ukraine, it's completely fine. If they don't kill children, it's completely fine. And kill other people also, no. So everything is fine. You know, LGBTQ and QTBG and gay and straight, everything is completely fine in my book. Until you start invading other countries, then it's not that fine. You know, war is one of the worst things probably in humanity, and it's also temporary, yes, but sometimes it can be devastating for, not sometimes, it's always devastating for the people who are in it. Not only the victim side of the war, but the other side also suffers. People die from both sides, you know. Instead of shadow on the floor, AO on the face. AO on the face is not a good idea on females that much. We have to be careful with the ambient occlusion. 23 minutes and this, yeah, she looks older. Always, by the way, always. Nico, you're gay? This is the question. Yes, if you want, I will be gay for you. It's not a problem, you know. I don't care what people think. You can think I'm a gay, although I have 2 children and a wife. Yes, I can be gay. Maybe I'm inside. I don't know about it, but I'm gay inside. And I am too afraid to admit it openly. And that's why I'm acting so manly and stuff. Probably that's it, yeah. That's always an explanation, you know. Does 3D character have scope in future? I mean, if the 3D characters will be done in the future, yeah, they will be always done. Either by us or the AI, but they have future, so don't worry. I don't know, I didn't know Nico is gay. This is heartbroken news. Okay, good. Heartbreaking news. For you. For other people, not so much problem. So everybody's perception of the world is exactly that. Their perception of the world. So if your perception of me is that I'm gay, you're welcome. But what I am, maybe something else, nobody knows. The eyes should be a little bit smaller and turned to the side and it's perfect. It will not be perfect. There are many other things that can be fixed, but doesn't matter. Is it important to be good at Blender, talent or hard work? Both. But talent doesn't exist in my opinion. I mean, if you have enough will and you want to do something, then you will do it more than other people. And you will be called talented in this thing. Although, you may be not exactly talented in this field. You just put a lot of hard work. Which adif should you give to young advice maybe, yes. To young 3D character artist for found his first job in the actual context. I will give the following advice to every young 3D artist out there who wants to find a job immediately. You cannot. You have to work and be good and become better and better for at least maybe 1 or 2 more years, because nowadays it's not a good time to go into the industry because you cannot, usually. You cannot. The companies that are hiring, which are a few, they're hiring only experienced artists. And even I will have maybe a little bit hard time finding a job in the industry right now. Maybe I will find a job eventually, but it will not be as easy as, let's say, 2 years ago. 2 years ago was nice, not because of the pandemic, but exactly because of the pandemic. There was a lot of jobs. 2-3 years ago, the gaming companies were growing, everything was amazing for them. Now it's the opposite. Hey Nico, will you do a stream on retopology? That's interesting. Yeah, probably not. Why? Because it's boring, slow, and yeah, we don't like it. I have been watching your videos recently as I try to improve in Blender. Are really inspiring. It's really inspiring watching your workflow from sphere to these models. But that's exactly my workflow. I am a specialist in just that, working from sphere. You know, when you're a professional artist, you usually don't work from sphere. When I do freelance, I usually work from a sphere because I like it. But and also I kind of grab the opportunity to make another exercise, to make another training from sphere. And also I usually work on stylized models, which, yeah, you can have a base mesh and you can change it to look more stylized or a little bit more cartoony, but I usually prefer to do it from scratch. It's just my preference. But usually when you work for a certain company or you work for a certain game, sometimes they even will give you a base mesh, which you have to change without changing the topology, and you have to make your model from that base mesh, which you will be able to do without any issues if you know how to work from sphere. So in the beginning, I will say it's a good idea to start working from sphere so you can understand the basics of shapes and forms and everything. And then, for example, I opened the book Anatomy for Sculptors here, and I just, you have to watch this book and analyze and see every couple of months, because some things you kind of forget. But don't rely only on this book. Rely also on, photographs of muscular men, for example, or women or whatever. The idea is that you have to go through many sources, not only one source like this book. This book is an amazing source, but if you rely only on it, maybe you will not understand some interesting things of the anatomy. You will understand most basic things and a lot advanced things, of course, but some things you will understand only with the book plus images, photographs, even yourself in the mirror. You see, it's very cool. I'm LGTV, yes. Can a character be in a triangulate mesh? It can be, yes. Nico, after being a GTA 4 game, you started sculpting. How was your experience in the game as you were in the main character? Yeah, I was Nico Bellic back in the days, in the GTA 4. And the experience was pretty nice. Back in the days, I was a gangster. I didn't know many things. Now I know a lot more about emotional intelligence and about how to at least try to manage my feelings. By the way, emotional intelligence is not only about reading other people's emotions and empathy. It's not only about that. This is a small part. The biggest part of the emotional intelligence is to be able to manage your emotions when you're under stress, which is very, very difficult. When you're under stress, something is stressful, very stressful. For example, somebody is mugging you on the street with a gun or with a knife. And then you are super stressed and you're just melting, and your emotions, they will just go, fear or anger or whatever, they will just emerge from you and you will not be able to control them if you are not emotionally intelligent. If you are emotionally intelligent, you will be able to be very calm in the face of the stress, and you will be able to know, okay, you will always realize what's happening. You'll say, okay, now anger is coming, but we will divert it. Now fear is coming, but it's useless, so we will divert it. Stuff like this, this is emotional intelligence. Nico is a Trabant that can reach 80 kilometers an hour. By the way, Trabant was my first car that I was driving back in the days, and I was able to reach 90 kilometers an hour on a steep slope, downwards, of course, downwards. And it felt like I was driving with, let's say, 250 kilometers an hour with a normal car. Because Trabant was so badly made that it was there were sounds of wind everywhere, and it was amazing. Trabant was the worst car ever created, I would say. One of the worst. But also has a special place in my mind since it was kind of my first car. So many good artists in Ukraine. Yeah, but they mostly are no, some of the artists I'm sure are going into the front and they're participating in the war, and they're dying, some of them probably, which is bad. But you know, this is how the world works. You know, when you are presented with something, you have that. You don't have other thing. You know, you don't have the peace. You have the war. So what you can do, you know, those are the cards. Guess her eye color is the biggest difference from the concept. Probably. I love all things that you do in Blender. Thank you. I love the gay name calling rolling of Nico like water of a duck's back. Yeah, because you see, I am able to roll off gay names, LGBT, whatever people are throwing at me. Why? Because I'm relaxed. Because I'm not emotionally invested in this. If I become emotionally invested, if my emotional level rises, then my brain will shrink. It's always like that. When your emotions rise, your brain shrinks usually, especially when we're not that emotional intelligence like me. Now I'm starting to learn, but this is a very, very long way, and I'm in the beginning, so it's not easy. But when I stay calm, I know that everything will be okay. Yeah. If I get angry, then something doesn't work well, you know. So yeah, to me, natural talent is in art is when you can draw from imagination. If you take a look at 90%, don't improve, and that skill. Sculpting or drawing from imagination is something that many young artists are mistaking for a talent. It's not a talent. In our case, especially when you work for a company or you want to do a nice portfolio, working and making stuff from your imagination is called stupidity. I will tell you why I'm thinking that. Because when I was working in the industry, I saw a lot of people how they work, and the most professional people, the people that are working the best works, that are having the best works, and people that I admire their works, they are always using enormous amounts of reference for every work that they do. The 2D artists, they are gathering pictures, other arts, and everything to create the art that they want to create or the concept. The 3D artists, they're also using the concept, but also other references for folds and for everything. So in professional level, you work with references only. Of course, at some point, when you are when you worked with a lot of references, you have worked for many years, you have a lot of thousands of hours of practice, then you can work without reference for most of the time, only with the concept. I'm talking about 3D sculpting. But when you are a 2D artist, also you can, but for most not so valuable tasks, for something that you have to do quickly and you just want to have fun, but it's not that important. But for very important stuff, for concepts or game art, for example, the art on the cover of some games or whatever, cover art, you have to use a lot of references. So it depends. You know, some people think working without reference is a huge skill. Yeah, it is a huge skill, but it requires working with references for many years before you start working without reference. Like Kim Jung-lee or whatever his name was, this brilliant and amazing guy who died, unfortunately, but he was working without any reference, but he, you know, he has probably more hours working from references than any person alive ever, most likely. And that's why he was able to work without references so well. But this is not talent, because it's just a lot of work again. Nico, it's faster to use multi-resolution in my workflow is entirely in Blender. It's faster to use, I don't know. Faster than Sculpt, Retopo, Bake. Okay, so you are saying if you're using a base mesh which has a good topology and then multi-resolution and then make I haven't worked on this method in Blender. I have worked with this method in ZBrush and it works flawlessly in ZBrush. In Blender, multi-resolution is a little bit buggy sometimes, so I'm not sure. Maybe you have to try it and you will tell me if it works. Is it okay to sculpt on a male base? Yes, it is okay to sculpt on whatever you want. Do you ever make base meshes for the most complicated characters? No. Or is it only from sphere? I don't mean to save time, but to have it easier to get good underlying topology. You know, the topology is not my concern in the beginning. When I do a character for a game, for example, and I know that I will have to retopologize it with clothes and everything. So a good topology of a base mesh, a naked body, is not gonna cut it for me. I probably can use the hands and the face only, which will help, but it will save me probably a couple of hours of retopology, and it will save me also the pleasure of doing it from sphere. So what I do is, in the beginning, I don't care about retopology. I start from a sphere, I do the high poly as better as I can, and then I start caring about retopology when I just starting to put the polygons by hand. Hide pure ref. I don't want to. I will hide it. Love your work, bro. You're an inspiration. Thank you very much. I was at small old school studying traditional sculpting with marble, clay and wood. I think I haven't done that before. Trying out the digital has helped me so much. Highly recommended it. I'm sure that it is. I haven't tried traditional sculpting that much. Nico, did you watch Deadpool and Wolverine? Not yet. I'm new at blending. How should I get this world? First, you get a blender. Either buy a blender for your kitchen if you want to blend some vegetables for some kind of a parfait, I know. Or you download Blender from the site, which is free. So yeah, probably downloading Blender will be better because it's free. If you want to buy a blender for your kitchen to do blending of some vegetables or something else, it will cost you because the blenders, they're not free. But Blender as a program is free, so you can download it and try it also. Yeah. What do you think Blender sculpting needs to be on the same level as ZBrush or even better? I don't know. It's for me it's almost at the same level. The only thing is that Blender is a real 3D program, which means it cannot support as much as polygons as ZBrush, but the other things I think it's completely fine for me. What do you do for entertainment? I watch Netflix and YouTube and read books, by the way. Now I'm on the 9th book of the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan. The Wheel of Time series is amazing. They have a series now, I mean the TV show they have. I think the 3rd season is now on the making, or 4th. But the Wheel of Time is kind of an old series from Robert Jordan, one of the classics. It's very nice. And I think Robert Jordan has written it up to the 10th book. And then there were 3 more books, 11th, 12th, and 13th, which were written by Steven Erickson, or how was the name? This guy is even better than Robert Jordan. So I think the last books will be a feast to read, but I'm still on the 9th book. They are pretty long books, I mean very big books, but it's amazing. Magic and fightings and stuff, it's very nice. Can you share a secret? What were you doing before going full-time on sculpting? Did you have other jobs or something like that? Okay, you can check my video about my art path up to this point in my other channel. By the way, link to my other channel should be in the description. If you open the description of this video, this is this video now, and we are around this area here. Let's go. Okay, this is this video, and you go to the description. First, this is the Discord link here. This is the course. This is my courses here. The first one of the first links, and link to SpeedChart channel. When you go to this channel, which is my channel, SpeedChart, then you can go to this My Drawing and 3D Skills Through the Years. This is one of the videos. You go to videos, and this is the video, yeah. And you will understand many things about me, how I started from like 6 or 7 years old up to now, and all my works, more interesting works. My test for Gameloft for the 2D. Then when I became a 3D artist, my test for that also, and many other things. In this channel you can find a lot of things, and also this channel is approaching 100,000 subscribers, which is great. But I'm not uploading too much these days. I have to upload some videos here. I have some ideas. We'll see when I will get to that. But you are watching now this channel, which is SpeedChart Live. And in this channel, if you want to go to the videos, you will see that there are only 2 videos here. What's happening? But if you go to lives, then you will find all the videos. Like, how many are there? I'm not sure. A lot of them. 144 videos, which is kind of a lot. You can find a lot of things. And the most viewed videos in all time of my channel is this one. Modeling Goro in Blender for less than 1 hour and 30 minutes. And when I'm watching the thumbnail for this right now, I'm wondering how I was able to do this for 1 hour and 30 minutes. But I was. And that's why people are watching it. It's 720,000 views. Pretty huge amount, I would say. The hugest. Let's go to most popular views. Okay, this one has 500,000, 250,000, and the rest are less than that. Fatsumo guy has good views for 1 month video. It's fine. But what we're watching now is this one. Fatsumo guy has okay, 79 people watching right now, which is a low amount of people. But let's go to the ArtStation reviews, by the way, if we can. ArtStation portfolios, and we're here. This portfolio is for Baris Marangos or Marangos. I don't know where the hit on the word is. And we have some caps, bottle caps. The Fallout guys will approve. Bottle caps. We have a nice fire extinguisher. Yeah, not bad, not bad. I would say pretty good. And also the materials, the render, very good. So this guy is a props artist, and also not a bad one. But this thing here, having realistic stylized all, I would say no. You know, when you go to your portfolio, when I go to your portfolio as a, for example, I'm an art director for a company and I'm searching for artists to do something. And I have to open a couple of portfolios, like 30 portfolios I have to open for 1 hour or less. So I have to open it, look at it, and I will look and I will say, okay, this, you know, caps. I don't want caps. I close it. So if I open the portfolio and I see this, it will be better, you know. These things with these folders inside, I don't like it at all. You know, seeing this, it's much better. Seeing all the things at one place, say, oh, I need somebody to make me a nice knife. Very good, yeah, very good. I will take this guy. This guy is doing great. He's making great knives. Or he's making nice fire extinguishers. So, pretty cool. Or nice cameras. It's visible that this guy is kind of not jumping over the things. He's doing the things properly. It's a relatively simple thing to do, a fire extinguisher, but this one is over the top. It has so many details. The smallest detail is here, so it's amazing, I would say. Even with this thing here. Very, very nice. What is this? This is us here. Have to move it. I like to move it, I like to move it, I'm a kind of beginner, but this is my most detailed character till now. Okay, let's see. Not bad, I would say. Yeah, for a beginner, not bad at all. Yeah, the head is a little bit flat here and flat on the sides, so it's a little bit squarish, which is not exactly super bad. But it, since it's a stylized character, it could be fine. And also he has some clothes, some textures. The folds are relatively bad. Also, they are symmetrical, which you have this knee armor here. You don't have it here, but you have the thing on the pants for the armor, which is not super cool, but Mohamed is doing well. And if he continues to do and to develop himself, he will become very good. And he's doing low polish also. But again, squarish heads. The heads are usually of the person, even stylized, not that squarish, you know. Yeah, the forehead is too flat. Should be a little bit more rounded. But this is cool. Those shoulder pads are pretty cool. I would say make some of the things a little bit thicker, some of the fabrics, but it's fine. It's fine. Maybe just to work more on the faces, and at some point it will happen. This haircut is very boring because all the hair strands are kind of parallel to each other, which usually is not good. But when we say beginner, this is not exactly a beginner level, I would say. It's a little bit more advanced than that. So yeah, cool. You more enjoying the knives, I think, bro. Yeah, I like the knives, yeah. Sanderson also wrote the Mistborn trilogy, which is a very good read. Yeah. Steven Erikson is very good. I like him even more probably than Brandon Sanderson. Then, yeah. Nico, I'm a noob and I study your course in ZBrush when we are in low subdivision level. It is called low poly, so if we retopologize it at the high subdivision level, do we also call it low poly? When it's retopologized and it's much lower polygonal, it's probably low poly, yes. The retopologized mesh, it's low poly, yes. We like to move it. What's the best for making characters, models, modeling or sculpting? Yeah, funny. Sculpting, of course. Modeling is for props mostly. Modeling characters usually is not done anymore, except if they are very simple characters like Mario or something, and you cannot sculpt. If you cannot sculpt, then you probably will model them. But sculpting them, making a good high poly, then retopologizing, baking, those are the right steps of making characters since 2010. So for about 15 years right now, those are the right steps. Maybe even more. Okay, we have stylized characters here, but here we have a little bit more realistic one. And it's not a bad one, I would say. It has interesting hairs. Not the best hairs ever, I would say. But I'm not expert on hairs usually, since I don't do hairs too much, especially realistic. Yes, okay, good, some things. Yeah, but those stylized things are fine. They're colorful, the thumbnails are nice. This thing, I'm not sure. It's creepy, the render is not quite well done. Okay. Angel Dart. Character model at ungeneraled character artist. Okay. I don't have too much recommendation. Maybe remove this because it's too dark. I mean, the shadows, when you make them too dark, too black, it's not completely fine. And especially this super black thing. Okay. Yeah, you see, there are areas that are completely black. So I like contrast, but not that much. And when you have super black shadows with black background, it's not working quite well. And the face is not quite nice, as we can see. So, of course, more practice always is available for you because you have time. Until you die, you have time to practice. Here we are seeing interesting things from Yelimbek Adambek from Kazakhstan. Very nice skull. Some of the things are from my... this is from one of the videos, one of the challenges. Yeah, very nice, by the way. This is the wolf from one of the challenges also in the Discord server. Pretty cool. This shark, I don't think it's from the challenges. I don't think we did, but it's pretty nice. Of course, all those things that we have seen, I mean, those 3 artworks, they are whips, work in progress. They are not finished works. Why? You see, in order for this to be finished, there need to be like a couple of hours more put into this to develop more some of the things. And this requires a lot more time in order to be finished. Those whips are okay. You can post them somewhere, like in your Instagram or whatever, but Artstation, I consider Artstation as a professional portfolio website where you put not whips, not speed sculpts, but finished artworks, so people can see that you can do the work, you can do the job. Otherwise, you are making yourself not a good favor. Let's see the samurai warrior. It's not a bad thing, but it needs to be finished with color, some materials, a good render, and a pose in order for this to be a valuable art, likable, and everything. Let's say this. This, especially the face, shows a lot of potential, shows a lot of knowledge about the facial anatomy, and overall proportions of the human body are very good. And the armor, of course, is amazing. So overall, this artwork is pretty cool. But no shadow on the floor. On the main image. I am disappointed. So proper render, probably nice materials, maybe. Yeah, we have pose. So proper render and nice materials will be best. But this is one of the best artworks in this portfolio, I would say, this night. This girl, again, kind of a speed sculpt. You see the hair is like how I'm doing them in the speed sculpts. You know, this is not a portfolio piece. This is just a speed sculpt, just for practice, just for warm-up or whatever. You just have fun. Yeah. This is not a portfolio piece. You don't put this kind of stuff in your portfolio. I don't do it because I know it's not a good idea. So it's not a good idea. If you don't have other works, just leave things like this skull, which is good, this guy, which is amazing. You have put hours and hours in this, is visible because it's kind of complicated to make this kind of a character. At least I might say 30 hours or something like this were put into making this character, which is a lot, and it deserves a better render, better presentation. Let's see this high poly model. It's not bad. What I see here is I don't see the face, which usually is a bad thing. We want to see the face. I see a nice folds, by the way. Probably Marvelous designer, yes. And we see the face here, which is great. And the face is not bad at all. And this, with a nice render, with the face, will be amazing. This is completely not amazing. Yeah, it has a pose, but the render is bad. It's dark, it's not visible what's happening, doesn't have a face, and the folds, some of the folds are kind of flat, are looking flat because of the materials, I don't know. So more work on the lighting and materials, I would say, and rendering. Otherwise, sculpting skills, pretty good, I would say. I would be happy to have this sculpting skills, maybe, yeah. My skills are not bad, but this guy have very good skills. Not presentation skills, unfortunately. Many people have very good sculpting skills, but they cannot present their stuff. Other people, they don't have sculpting skills, they also cannot present. But there are people who doesn't have super good sculpting skills, but they have very good presentation skills, and their works are more eye-pleasing than the previous guy, even. With his amazing sculpting skills, even. A Neko. Is sculpting with the mouse okay? It's okay if you can do it, no problem. What's happening? Okay. This is a dragon. You see? 100 people watching right now. Very good. For the summer, this is amazing. This is a dragon, and this dragon is looking pretty good. I don't completely like how the neck is going here. It should be a little bit thicker probably, or something is a little bit off for me. But this image here is very good. Very nice lighting, very nice render, and pretty good sculpting as well. So we want to see more works from Vishal Reddy from Singapore. Vishal needs to do more works. This one is good. We are liking it. Let's see Vitali Fortune. From Vietnam. Vitali is from Vietnam. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Vitali to be from Russia, Belarus, or Ukraine. But from Vietnam, I'm a little bit confused. Whatever. Vitali. Okay, this is not bad. But you have to be more confident while working on the face. Otherwise, pretty cool. But again, what is this? This is work in progress. It's not a finished artwork. Although it's a good progress, it's not a finished artwork. This one seems more like finished artwork, but it's a little bit strangely lit. The lighting is a little bit strange. Other than that, it's looking relatively fine. But again, not the best. Let's see this one. This one is amazing. I would say good lighting, good modeling, good sculpting. Everything looks good on this character. I mean, the rendering, the lighting, everything. It's the best. Of this portfolio, SpongeBob is the best. This one, not bad. Lighting, render, also not bad. This one, I would say, remove it as quickly as possible from your portfolio. That's my opinion for this one. This one, finish it and then post it. The others, like the Thor hammer and other things, I would say they are better to be archived. So you can remove them from view. You may not delete them. You may always see them yourself when you go to your portfolio, but don't let other people see them. Although this gun, this revolver, is not bad at all. It's made in Canada even, but it's pretty good actually. But again, it's a prop. So make yourself a Terminator or whatever who will use this gun, and put it in his hand. Point it at the camera. The gun will be closer to the camera because it's very detailed. It will be visible, but we also will have a character holding it, and then we will know This guy is a full character artist because he can do a character with his props and low high poly. We'll see. This guy also needs to be removed kind of immediately. Yeah, it's Professor Xavier, okay, but it's bad. The folds are not particularly nice, and overall it's looking grotesque, we may say. Other things are very nice, and suddenly this Professor Xavier is like, what's happening? Who is this? Yelimbek says, first time I caught you live. There is always first time for everything. Hopefully it's not the last. But caughting me live is not exactly, or catching me live is not exactly something that you have to aim for, since those videos are staying in the channel forever, at least until YouTube disappears, probably. I want to send my portfolio, but not sure because it's not safe for work. Yeah, but if you need to show your portfolio or send it in Artstation portfolio channel. I'm not sure that we will ever be able to see and review all the portfolios here, because there are almost 350 portfolios more to be reviewed. Some of them are same, you know, people are posting them. Let's see which works are here. When I see this portfolio, I say, pretty cool. But this is looking like work in progress. It doesn't have a finished look, you know. This looks like a screenshot from ZBrush, for example, which is not very nice thing. If it has color and relatively nice render, then it will be a pretty cool piece for your portfolio. This dragon, let's see, again looks a little bit like a work in progress. Now we have it with color and everything, and looks much better. But this have to go. This has to have better thumbnail, because it's a little bit dark and we cannot see exactly what's happening. It's not that interesting. This one is more interesting because we can see the face from up close, but it's a work in progress. This one doesn't have shadow on the floor. This one is looking very good. This hippopotamus, it's looking pretty good. The gorilla. Oh, it has even hair. Very nice. Let's see this guy, one of the latest works from 3 months ago. It's a little bit too dark. Yeah, I know it's a kind of a, you know, crazy horror dog. Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred. But this is not Mephisto, it cannot be. Mephisto is not a dog, I think. Even a dog with some skull showing. But it's looking very nice. The fur is pretty successful, I would say. And overall materials, render, this dog is jump ahead of this one, the hippo, and those last things. So my advice here, just work more on most of those works. I mean those which are clay. They're not exactly clay. They look like just a print screen from ZBrush, which is not a good thing, as I said. Remove the oldest works. They're just dragging your portfolio behind. And even if I have to be honest, I would leave this dog, this guy with a better thumbnail, and probably this dragon, and that's it. The other things, they need more work, definitely. But other than that, great job, especially on the dog. It's wow. George from the jungle, or from Spain. It's not the same. Spain and jungle is not exactly the same. But George have some skill. As you can see, even from the thumbnails, it's visible that George have skills in face anatomy. This guy looks amazing. The face looks pretty cool, as you can see. And also, the body looks very convincing. So, George knows his stuff, I would say. This is the Orc Cyborg. Yeah, the face can be better of the Orc Cyborg. The body also, but still, it's a good job, I would say. Orc Cyborg is my new 3D project. The character was developed during Nikolai Nairov's course using techniques learned in the course and my knowledge of 3D. So he's mentioning the course, which is great. This, very good sculpting skills. Yeah, I mean, folds and everything. Those folds on the on the neck here are boring, again, because they are almost identical to each other, which you should avoid when you're doing this kind of creature. I would say folds on the neck should be first. In this particular case, should be non-symmetrical, and you should watch some kind of ostrich or vulture to see how their long scrungy neck is, and drive inspiration from there. This character, I think, was developed during the Pablo or Rafa Souza. Okay, but the neck is bugging me. Other than that, very nice job, pretty good anatomy, but anatomy is something that we learn all our lives. This I don't like completely. You know, the render is a little bit strange, a little bit flat maybe. More time needs to be devoted on that. This guy looks very nice. He's interesting. Super Meat Boy. Very cool character. And Cuphead and this. Yeah, anatomy, you see? Anatomy. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But we all need to learn more about anatomy. Other than that, great job, George. Let's see this guy or girl or I don't know. We can from Spain again. Oh, we have a lot of Spain portfolios today. Let's see this. This is a work in progress, obviously, or just a low poly. You're showing just the low poly here. The model belongs to the Museum of Yeda, in which I have participated in creation of creature for their okay. So this is the low poly, and we don't have texture, we don't have normal map, we don't have anything. So this character doesn't belong, also this one doesn't belong in the portfolio. Let's see this. Why is it so flat? Because this is supposed to be some kind of a cartoony flat shader. It doesn't work quite well. I mean, yeah, it looks like a drawn character, cartoony drawn character, but with the black lines around it, it looks a bit better. So yeah, use the black lines in this also, and in this main image they will kind of make it much better, like here for example. But this flat color characters, I think they need to have a little bit better texture. I don't know. Otherwise, not a bad sculpting skills. But again, those kind of characters, I'm not used to seeing them in a portfolio. So it's a little bit strange for me. And probably if somebody wants those kind of characters to be done for him, maybe they will consider your portfolio. Who knows? But yeah, I don't see anything for like face anatomy or you know, proper anatomy of the body. So we don't know how it is, and we don't have a proper nice render with good materials. Let's see this. Realistic 3D sculpting, Blender models, designer 3D Max Substance Painter, time 25 hours. Not bad, I would say. Maybe the texture of the fabric is a little bit too much for me. He looks like he's wearing carbon fiber. But other than that, the face looks pretty cool, although the eyes are a little bit too further apart and too small. Maybe. Who knows? Other than that, he looks not bad. This guy is from Egypt. And let's see some work. A lot of architectural visualization, cars, Lamborghini Centenario, 3D modeling, texturing, rendering. Not bad. Not bad at all. If you want cars, but we want characters. So let's see. The folds on the pants are just horrific. Not in a good way. The face is stylized. Okay, the overall character is stylized. But with stylized characters, you don't have so many chaotic folds in the pants. And when I see this character, I only see the pants. Why? You know, because they're grabbing my view, grabbing my eye, because of the bad folds, and also because his jacket and the background are the same color. That's probably one of the reasons. Yeah, so when you are doing jeans, for example, these are supposed to be jeans. Yeah, leg jeans, straight leg jeans. Find a lot of good photographs of jeans on legs and try to use them as reference. Or find some other artworks of people who have done jeans in stylized style and try to steal a little bit from them, but doing it like this is bad. This is face, yeah, it's stylized probably, but it's too much Beavis and Butthead for me, you know. Too much. Beavis and Butthead. It's What would be the best simplification of a head, neck, and base of neck representation to start sculpting as a kind of base mesh? Can you do something like a ball on top of a cylinder? You can, of course, but you know, if you want a base head and neck, as you can see, it can be done for a couple of seconds. So why do you need this kind of base? I don't know. You want to make your work faster, so just make a base face. Just basic face with basic nose, basic lips, basic eyes on the right places, everything with good proportions, nice ears, and use that as a base. Then just change it for a different, if you want to be faster than me even. But you will not be. I'm just faster always. Nico, I'm finishing the wolf course. Can I upload it to Instagram? Or should I start my own project? It's beautiful. I'm new to this. The wolf, you mean the werewolf? Okay, yeah. You can upload it to Instagram. You can upload it to Artstation, whatever. And you can then start your own project. But in the beginning, I always say that you are working on courses. You paid for those courses. You can always put the results of those courses in your portfolios in the beginning. In Artstation, Instagram, or whatever you want. You can put them there until you have nice things of your own without any courses. You put them there just so people know that you are, you know, improving, you are doing something. In my opinion. Could you sculpt Professor Xavier? It depends which, I mean, I have to find a good concept, probably. Ah, wolf is Lobo. Ah, Lobo, okay, good. Yeah, I know, Lobo. What would be the best simplification of a head? Okay, it's like they're wet, yeah. Can we get speed sculpt of your own face? No, because it's not gonna look anything like me, probably. It will look a little bit like me, but I have to practice a lot in order to make it look nice. People are putting knives in their portfolios because they know I like knives. Tefal. This is a pretty nice looking knife. I have to buy it. Tefal. Tefal knife. Interesting. Is it Teflon, by the way, the coating on the blade? Because they realized that Teflon coating is poisonous. I mean, probably not poisonous, but bad for people. Toxic, maybe. So we have knives, we have other things, we have some drawings here which are old, I would assume, and which should be removed. Yeah, again, in this portfolio, we might say, don't put everything that you have done ever in your portfolio. Some things are old. Your skill is better than that. You don't need them in your portfolio. You need only things in your portfolio that are matching your current skill. If you have something which is old and your skill is much better now, you don't need it in your portfolio. It will just make the value go down. Okay, so remove half of the things in your portfolio. Usually, when you have more than 10 artworks in your portfolio and you're a young artist, my best guess, and I would say, is to remove half of your works. Just take the half that you think are, you know, they're usually the older works. And even if you have spent a lot of time in certain artwork, it's old now and it's not valuable for your portfolio. It may be valuable for you because you remember how you done it. It has sentimental value, but not a portfolio value. So, you know, make a differentiation between those values. Sentimental value is not portfolio value. Value. We have a name, by the way, in Bulgaria, value. It's Valentin or something, but we call it value for short, value. Light tricks in ZBrush maybe. Models always look different when exported to Maya. Yeah, probably. But I don't use in ZBrush anymore. And then we have a post in Spanish or Portuguese, which we don't know. Here, how you doing? But how's it? Hey, how you doing? Like this guy from France. Okay. We see Bizarro from the Discord challenge. Not a bad work. I mean, you see, interesting work on the suit. Very cool, very cool. And since the first image is not exactly a render, this seems more like a render here, but still, it's not completely a render. This is a turntable or what? Yeah, this is a turntable. So this character is well made, relatively well made, but needs a better render probably. Let's see this girl. A little bit strange nose. Doesn't have too much anatomy in the nose. A little bit too thin ears. Other than that, not bad eyes. And the rotation is a little bit too quick. And suddenly this guy is, well... Let's see, mature content. Show me the artwork. Okay. So now this video will be demonetized. But we see nice, very nice legwork here. Very cool. And, you know, more works like this not safe for work one. Those are relatively speed sculpts or sketches, we may say. But they are showing great potential. This guy, Gabrielle, is pretty good. But this, I think this girl should go. This should have a better, you know, better rendering and lighting, and this should have a better thumbnail. For example, for this, the thumbnail should be either this, or this, or this. This, as a thumbnail, would bring a lot more attention than this old wrinkly guy. So yeah, just suggestions. Let's see this guy. It looks amazing on the thumbnail, but I think we have seen this, and this is very good. I would say perfect. Why it's not perfect? Because we can almost always find some things that, for example, those hair strands here are a little bit too going like the same, you know, they have to be like this, not so parallel. Other than that, the arm here, the chest, the overall detail, and the face, and the hair here in the front, and the ears, wow, just wow. And the legs, everything is just superb. Oh, we have even some topology here. Wow. Serhi. You're very good, Serhi. Wow, we have a colored version of this. And it has only 34 likes. You know, this is stupid. This thing, of course, the render is not quite well done. I mean, it's not the best. It's relatively nice, but it's not the best. This one is better. And it has more likes, 61. So this one, amazing stuff also, I would say. Even the render is better. Very cool. 96 likes. Again, this portfolio we have seen. Remove more than half of those. This thing. This is nice. Remove this because it's from the course. The Spider-Man probably can stay. This definitely remove. This definitely remove. This one, let's see. Maybe a little bit better render and the presentation could be better. But you see, even if you leave this and this, not the color version, just those two, and maybe this, because it's interesting, this will be much better portfolio than now. Now, we are seeing this amazing stuff, and we are seeing this. And we are saying, oh, this guy can do bad stuff also. Which is not true. His skill has improved a lot. And he is now at this level. He was at this level 2 years ago. Which is tremendous improvement. Just amazing improvement for 2 years. So this guy has not only potential, he is very good already, but all the things here are dragging him down. Otherwise, just superb. Let's see this guy or girl or whatever. Nima from Germany. And we have some vibes here, some chargers, and some phones. And yeah, I cannot say anything about this portfolio. This is only some hard surface modeling and not a bad looking renders, so it's fine. But we don't have characters. And we care about the characters more than anything ever. Nikolai, I'm a huge fan of yours. I learned a lot from you. I'm grateful. Thank you very much. He's saying that he has trouble sculpting the body due to proportions. He's asking if you have any materials that could help with that, with proportions. Just practice can help you with proportions. Always using references. Because many people are thinking that using references, especially young people, using references is lame and it's only for those who cannot draw. It's actually the opposite. The people who can draw the most, they're using references the most because they know that with references, they will make over 100% of what they can do. They will put 120% of themselves if they use references. If they don't use references, they will put like 90%. So this percentage varies, but whatever. Okay. Can we use translators or something? Or should I use translators probably? Can it translate the chat, by the way? Translate to English, let's see. Translate to English. It cannot translate to English, the chat. This is not looking bad, I would say. Yeah, oh. Not bad. And the folds, relatively nice. And this fist is very cool. I like the fist a lot. And this, and the face. Gomez, Mr. Gomez. Mr. Gomez. Let's see what else can you offer to the table. This one, even from the thumbnail, I will not even click on it. Remove it, just remove it. This one also, this is, what is it? Just armor. But, you know, this is not good for your portfolio, just an armor. And also without, you know, yeah, you probably have put some time on this, but you don't need to put it in your portfolio. It doesn't look good. Let's say this. This looks very, very good. The thumbnail didn't look so well, but this is amazing. And all those other things are looking great. And when I see somebody who is good, I see the fists that they're doing. And when the fist is nice, probably the guy knows his anatomy. And you see how the arms here, the hands are very well made. And that's what differentiates a good artist from the rest. So this guy, for me in my book, this guy is good. But he is good. He has to remove those two artworks at least. And then make a little bit more effort on the thumbnails of the others. Because the Spider-Man is looking relatively great. This can be better. This is very nice. This is fine. This is not very good as a thumbnail. And overall, as a model, this is too busy for me. I wouldn't make this kind of model. It's too busy, too much detail. And it's just, you cannot know, your eye doesn't know where to put itself. It's a little bit too much. And he has only 266 followers, which is not a good number. But since he's relatively new in ArtStation, this is kind of normal these days. You have to promote yourself when you put an artwork like this, for example, you put it in ArtStation and then you promote it. You put links to it in certain Facebook groups. You have to find them first. Facebook groups for artists. And then probably they will, but in the first like 10 minutes of posting it, you have to do this. You have to put it in certain groups. In some groups they will ban you probably because they don't like links. But in some groups they will accept it. And even if like 50 people go click on it and like your artwork and look at it, then it may go to trending. When it goes to trending, people will more people will like it, more people will know about you, and that's how you go and become a little bit more famous, which is always useful when you want freelance and a little bit money for your work. Okay, now the chat turns to Portuguese chat. Really? Yeah, okay. Doesn't matter. Now let's see Miguel. Miguel is doing this. It's I'm not saying this is very nice. This could be better with a better render, like this. You know, this is dark. This is a little bit better. You see, and overall, it's not the best thing. This one is too dark, and the background is dark also, so it doesn't have contrast between the foreground and the background. This one have the contrast, which is great. This looks much better than the rest. Overall, has colors, not a bad render. Overall, good thing is this one. This one, again, too dark. Background is dark, everything is dark. Overall, good job on the modeling, but it's a little bit too dark. And I like how in the animation we have the smoke kind of animated also. If it wasn't animated, it could be fine also. This is from Warhammer, probably. Yeah, it's a little bit too flat. All those fabrics, they need to have some nice wrinkles. They don't have them, which is not a very good thing. But other than that, if you make a little bit more lighter render, a little bit more visible, it could be better. And I notice for myself, when I'm doing a render and then I put it in my portfolio, for example, I always notice that the things are darker than I need them to be. So before you put something in your portfolio, put it in Discord server or somewhere, just for the people to give you their opinion, or to for yourself to see it in like the next day, and to see it not in the program but somewhere else, in Skype or in Discord or in whatever. Then you will see, oh, it's a little bit too dark. So you will get it a little bit more light and it will be better, definitely. But Nico, Portuguese is a good language. I would say all the languages are good languages. So there is no bad language, except for the bad language. So if somebody starts to say, fuck, shit, this is bad language. But other than that, all languages are good. Not only Portuguese, so yeah. They're talking with each other, is explaining that even if he doesn't understand English very well, he can get what you're explaining just practicing. Yeah. Nico, hello from Russia. You speak very good Russian. Not so good, but I'm trying to speak it a little bit. I have to go to Russia, by the way, because you see, I don't approve war in Ukraine. Yes, I don't approve Putin as a president, but it's not my job to approve Putin as a president since he's not my president. I don't approve my president probably also, so it's fine. But the idea is that I like Russia. I like to see Moscow and St. Petersburg. It will be nice. Let's see Hilk Hogan, by the way. It looks very nice in the thumbnail. Wow. Wow. You see? Very nice fist. I like it a lot. Very nice face. Resembles Hilk Hogan. Very nice hair. He has made it for some kind of collector. Yeah. Wow. But this is pretty nice. I mean, Anatomy-wise, pretty cool. And likeness, everything. Very, very cool job. So, for this portfolio, should I suggest something? No. This guy is pretty professional. And I think we have seen this portfolio before. I'm not sure exactly. But, wow. Good stuff. This render particularly, the skin looks, in my monitor at least, looks a little bit too muddy. It's not exactly fine. But of course, modeling and the chair and the lighting is just superb. Very nice. And the hair and the face is just wow. I don't have anything to say. This guy is plenty good. But the skin, for example, here, it could use a little bit more color, I would say. It's not so colory. Otherwise, of course, amazing job again. Although this pose is a little bit strange. Maybe she's falling a little bit backwards. But it doesn't matter. Overall, super cool job with everything. And Clash of Clans stuff. I cannot judge this. But this pharaoh is amazingly nice. And the render and everything is wow. So yeah, we can watch a lot of the things of this guy. They are super cool. This guy is from Brazil, so Portuguese, good language and good sculptors. You have a very, very good sculptors in Brazil, but every country has one. Even a small country like Bulgaria. Bulgaria is, I mean, 7 million people, something like this. So it's very, very small country. I think in Brazil you have cities that are bigger than Bulgaria, which is normal. In China they have cities that are many times the size of Bulgaria. In India also. So, yeah, Bulgaria is a very small country, but still we have at least 10 very, 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 very good 3D character artists. I mean, people that are better than me even. So, yeah, 10 people at least. So Brazil should have like 100 people better than me at least. By better than me, I mean people who are really, really professional level, very professional. I'm on a professional level, kind of, but as you can see, I'm doing this for 23 minutes. So, yeah, I feel like my professional level now is a little bit like a circus. I'm a little bit like a circus clown. I am doing stuff which is kind of fast and very fast to do something resembling something nice. And only in my courses I'm doing something that's actually a quality work. But my courses, of course, you can find in the description of this and all the live videos in this channel, because this channel is mostly for live videos. We cannot say anything about this guy except he's one of the best professionals in the Discord server, if he is still in the Discord server, but I haven't seen them posting there, so I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, the anatomy here is a little bit bad, but the hands are not looking bad. The hands are actually relatively fine. The arms, though, not so much. And the body itself, not very cool. What is this? Some kind of a robot? This robot is not bad, but it's a work in progress, we may say. This one also is looking like work in progress. Yeah. This one is looking like a speed sculpt for me. So it doesn't have a good render, it doesn't have good hairs, it doesn't have super nice face, although the face is bearable, but the render is not good. This cat though. This cat is looking surprisingly nice. Although this render I don't understand quite well. Why is this render? What do you want to show? You want to show the back? Why? I don't know. This is fine. I mean, yeah, wrinkles, stuff. This cat is looking great. 2 years ago. So, yeah, cat modeling or sculpting is on a good level. This is, I mean, the anatomy and the pose and everything is not on a superb level, although it's not super bad either. But overall, the thumbnails doesn't show anything particularly interesting except for the cat. The cat is looking the best. Best of all those things, of course. This Jesus Christ is first a work in progress, and second, something like a speed sculpt. This also, this, all the things looks like a speed sculpt. They are not finished. They're even, it's visible that the guy hasn't spent enough time, except for the cat though. The cat is looking pretty good. Why you doesn't come to Islam? Why? I was asking the same thing to myself. Why I don't become a Muslim? It will be fine. You know, even if I became a Muslim, I will not believe in God. I'm sorry. I'm now a Christian by default because I'm living in a Christian country, but I'm not actually believing God. I'm not going to church. I'm not going to the mosque either. Although I have entered the mosque once. We have a very old mosque here in the Sofia in the center, and I entered it once to see how it's inside. I also entered one other mosque, which is one of the biggest here in the Balkan Peninsula. It's in my hometown in Bulgaria, in Shumen. And so I have entered the mosque a couple of times. But I don't believe in God. I don't believe in, you know, this kind of imaginary friends. But I don't think that you shouldn't believe in God, for example. Everybody has the right to believe in whatever they want. Even as we can see, some people have right to invade other countries. You know, these days people have a lot of rights. But no, I don't know. Do you think... By the way, I would convert to Islam. I would be Muslim for one thing. To visit this huge, the biggest mosque in the world in Mecca, I think it was. Because this is just amazing stuff. So, but they are letting in Mecca only Muslims. But I wouldn't think it would be fair if I convert to Islam, but don't believe in God, you know, in Allah. So I probably will not do that. I was considering it also, although, but I will probably not do that. Did you watch Viking series? I was watching Vikings, the first one. Now there are other Viking series. Not with this Ragnar or whatever guy. I was watching that for a couple of seasons. Now I'm watching Umbrella Academy. And I'm planning to watch some medieval comedy series in Netflix. I don't know how it's called. We will see when I start watching it. But I was very surprised to see one Polish series for medieval times in Netflix. I don't remember quite well how it was called. I think it was year 1663 or something was the year. And the series was called this year. The name of the series was the year, and it's just so good. It's a satiric or whatever it's called, like humoristic, very nice. It's from Poland. This TV series, it's amazing. Do you use ZBrush occasionally? No, not anymore. Ragnar Lothbrok, the Goat, and Bjorn Ironside 2. Good, okay. You're a fan of the Vikings. I was also a fan. I was watching it like up to the 4th season or 5th, I'm not sure. But then when I watched it, there was no other seasons. So I stopped watching it, and now I should go back from the beginning because I forgot what's happening. It was a couple of years ago. Okay, we have nice things here. You know, from the thumbnails, I'm like, this guy cannot do a finished model because all those are like, they look a little bit like clay, but not clay, just screenshots. They're not screenshots, they are renders actually. Why do I think that? Because you see, there is a little bit of reflection here, there is a little bit of rim light, and it looks pretty cool. This looks almost like a print, but is it a print? No, miniature made for... Okay, those are miniatures, but they're probably renders. Not bad renders, but even those renders doesn't look quite well in the thumbnails. Although, if I am a guy who is searching for somebody to make miniatures, usually when you have miniatures made in your portfolio, maybe I will consider it more than myself, for example. My portfolio these days. My portfolio doesn't include too many miniatures. This guy has too long arms, in my opinion. Too long. I mean, when he spreads his fingers, he will touch the floor. It's just... And when he's running, he will probably, you know, hit his arm on the ground, which is not exactly very useful skill. Maybe he will help himself with the arms, like on the ski, but only with arms. Okay, not bad, not bad. I would say good. Vladimir Belov. Okay, let's see, Ukraine or Russia or Belarus. Usually not Belarus. Russia, okay. Supaskar, Russia. I haven't heard of this town, by the way. But this guy, looking good. Looking very good. See? Not bad. Yeah, interesting choice of pants. And the wrinkles or the folds on the pants are not exactly perfect. Also, this belt is going above her, but probably because she's some kind of magician, I don't know. But the face, the hair, looks very nice. Wow. Yeah. This also looks nice, but this looks, again, like work in progress. It's not finished. Not the hair, not the face. The face is relatively fine, but the hair and the beard, they look like a work in progress or speed sculpt. This one looks very nice. This is kind of finished, and it's looking great. But shadow on the floor, come on. It has a little bit, no, it doesn't. It has a little bit of shadow on the floor, actually. It's not completely without shadow on the floor. So yeah, it has. Excuse me. But this one looks cool. This one, let's see. Ah. Wow, from the side view it's like, you know, strange. Stranger things. Okay, pay more attention to the folds of the clothes, because now they almost don't have any folds, and clothes, when you're wearing them, they usually have a lot of folds, not just flat things just standing there. Other than that, not bad, I would say. Good skills. Let's see this. It doesn't have a thumbnail. Okay, we have a Turkey guy, and he's making a lot of props and houses and little interior. Let's pay attention to this one. Okay, a lot of things in this one, but the one thing that I don't like is black. There is black in here, completely black in here, completely black in here, and in here, complete black. I don't like that. When you have this kind of a nice, stylized, cartoony interior or whatever, you don't want blacks in there. You want just bright and nice colors. Black is not one of the nicest bright colors usually. Okay. Can you sculpt Ragnar in life, please? I told you I'm not exactly that kind of a sculptor. I don't do likenesses, and I'm not as good. As you can see, I haven't even achieved the likeness of the concept that much. Yeah, it's for 20 minutes. It's difficult to achieve a likeness for 20 minutes or for 30 minutes or for 1 hour even. Maybe if I have like 3 hours on certain subject, maybe I will be able to. Also, in order to do something, in order to make likeness of a certain character like Ragnar, for example, I have to go and grab a lot of screenshots from a side view, from a 3/4, from a front view of this guy in the same age, hopefully. And then I have to practice. I have to practice to do him a couple of times, and then probably for 1 hour I will be able to do a certain resemblance, maybe. Polish series about the Middle Age, The Witcher. No. The Witcher is, I know it, but I mean, this series, Polish, was Polish, actually Polish TV series. It has one season, I think. It's modern, but it's in ancient times. It's, yeah, very cool. Nico, your favorite event in Olympics? Of course, in the opening, when the blue guy, the Smurf guy with the beard, appeared. This probably was my favorite. Why? Why it was my favorite? Because first, I'm LGBTQ, of course. Also, I'm gay. But why? Really? Because it was interesting. I was like, what the hell? Why? You know, why? Just why? Why? Because it inspired emotion in me. The other things was nice. Also, Gujira, when they sing metal, super metal, it was also very nice. Especially in the beginning when they start with all the queens with their heads and they're singing, the heads under the armpit, and they're singing. It was pretty interesting and exciting. But the blue guy, the blue naked guy, top of the line. Are you planning to sculpt your original characters in the future? I'm not planning it, but sometimes if I have original characters kind of coming out of my head, maybe. You are my inspiration. I believe in you that you will succeed. Yeah, we have to believe. Bro, is there good incoming game character sculpting? Yes, if you can find a job, then the income will be good, especially in more developed countries like Canada, USA, Germany, Switzerland. Those countries will give you a lot of money for your work. If you work in India, for example, or even Bulgaria, the money are not that good first, but they're better than the average salary usually, because you are a specialist in something like 3D character art. Nowadays, the difficult thing is to find the job. There is no even freelance anymore too much. So yeah, this is just the times, in my opinion. And when the AI comes and when it can make characters better than us, then we'll have to resolve to stand-up comedians we have to become or something. Or sit-up comedians like me, for example, because I'm sitting up and I'm trying to do comedy sometimes. Cool, you're awesome, man, most skilled one I've seen. But we have seen other people, even now in the portfolios that we reviewed, that are on my level at least. So I'm not the most skilled one. I'm pretty fast, yes. But it doesn't mean I'm as good as many other people who are slower than me. But they are able to put more hours. And they probably have more practice, maybe. Which is difficult, by the way. But yeah, there are people with more practice than me. Because I have a couple of thousand hours, maybe 10,000, maybe more, of practice in sculpting. Definitely more than 10,000 hours, since I was working for 12 years. I was 3D sculptor in Gameloft. So I was doing characters all day for 12 years. And in that time, I also was working at home, sometimes for freelance, sometimes just for fun. So I have more than 10,000 hours of practice. Yeah. Hi there, Biko. Biko is the best. Love from South Africa, you the best. Thank you very much. Although I know I'm not, but it's not a problem. In my personal opinion, the people that I've seen right now have flaws in different fields. That comes from experience, but your sculpts are all great. I would not say that. Maybe the sculpts that I have spent a long time on are kind of good, yes, but not the greatest. Yeah, my best work probably up to this point, which doesn't have too much flaws, is this one, in my opinion. Because it's my last kind of big sculpt. This is the Dragon Girl in Blender course that I did. This is the last course that I recorded, and it's actually I've grown to be better than last year, better than the year before. Of course, I'm a little bit better, And this is the result, you know, because it's nicer. I want to go back to Blender after a year of not touching the software. I'm 16 years old and I don't know where to start exactly, and I don't have money to buy courses. I want to start creating a character. Okay, you can create a character by watching YouTube videos only. Even in my channel, okay, again, I will do a little bit of advertisement. You go to the description of this video and you go to link to speech art channel here. Or immediately go to absolutely free character creation course in Blender. Click on it. And then you will be led to this playlist with 38 videos. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are even on the thumbnail, you can see. And it's from start to finish how to make a game-ready character in Blender and Substance Painter a little bit at the end, but mostly Blender. So you can check it out. It's absolutely free if you don't have money for courses. This course also I sell in ArtStation, in Udemy not anymore, because I had to tell them to take it down, because they say if it's free in YouTube, you cannot sell it in Udemy. Okay, but ArtStation doesn't have this problem, so you can buy it in ArtStation, but if you don't have money, as this guy, 16 years old, in 16 years old, I didn't have any money also, and also you don't have the means to buy courses, you don't have credit or debit card, whatever. This course, in the description of this video, you can find it. Okay, and this is just props and some houses. In the beginning, when I started my 3D career, I started using 3D Max back in 2002 or 2003, maybe 2003, 2004, I'm not sure. 2000. So 20 years ago, around that, I started using 3D Max. I was doing this kind of stuff, and for this kind of castle or house, I would be very proud to be able to do this kind of stuff, especially with those vegetations here, when I was starting my journey. To make a character was, I wasn't even dreaming of that 20 years ago, because I didn't know if for ZBrush existence, it was, I think there was ZBrush back in the days, I'm not sure, 20 years ago. Maybe some kind of early version of ZBrush. But I was doing this kind of stuff just a little bit worse than that. Then I became better in this kind of stuff. Then I started doing characters because it's more interesting for me. And, you know, this is how you develop. So this guy is student. He said student. So he's probably around 20 years old. And when I started, I was 22, 23 years old when I started using 3D. This guy is better than me. Better than me when I started. So if he wants to develop himself in the character stuff, he has to start learning anatomy and everything. So guys, this will be it for today. Let's read some questions if you have. Blender 4.2 version in edit mesh tools, I cannot find offset edges. I don't know how to help you with that exactly. Hey Nico, great to see you. Your cool factor is always at 1000% with your characters. Thank you for your time. Thank you very much. Did you learn anatomy through the book that you showed in this video? I'm talking about anatomy for sculptures. In the beginning, if you watch my video when I show how I learned everything and how I started, in the beginning there was no this book. When I was young, like 25 years ago, this book didn't exist or wasn't in existence. I was learning from anatomy of Baris. Baris anatomy was the most famous anatomy for sculptors back in the day. So if you can find Baris anatomy, it's very nice. But nowadays, when this exists with scans and photographs and on top of them drawing of the muscles like we see here, this is even better than Baris. But my opinion is when I want to learn something about anatomy, I'm using 3 sources: photographs, this book, and Proco anatomy videos in YouTube. Proco anatomy videos are just superb. They're very nice. You can watch them in the Proco website, you can watch them in whatever, but they're free. Most of them are free. There are just some which are paid, but the free ones are completely enough to learn a lot of the muscles, the anatomy, and to understand how the things works, where they're attached, why they look like this, and everything. It's very nice. But combining photographs. Watching people on the beach also is a very good idea, by the way. If you don't get beaten, it's completely fine. But watching people, watching photographs, learning from the Anatomy of Sculpture's book, other anatomy books also works, but not one thing at the same time. And also for all the people except me, you can also watch my anatomy courses, which are somewhere in the description of this video. You can find them most likely.
Sometimes yes.
Sometimes yes. I will show you again, yeah. So in Artstation, you go to my profile, which is Nikolai Naidenov with those smiley things here, and you go to store. Portfolio is here, store is here. In the store, you can find all my courses, and anatomy courses are... Why this is mature content? What's happening? There is no... I don't know. But this is the female anatomy course. Mature content. Okay, show me the product. Okay, this is mature. Why? I don't know. This is female anatomy for artists. One and only. I mean, there is no other female anatomy for artists in the world, I think, yet. And this is superhuman anatomy, which is male anatomy, actually, for artists. So those are video courses. They are like hours and hours long, and you can learn a lot. For head anatomy, this one is amazing exercises course for heads. Very nice. People are liking it a lot. And if we go to shop, marketplace, go to tutorials, and go to trending, we can see the Dragon Girl in Blender still in trending, but down we can see arm anatomy and head anatomy exercises still here because people like them. They have 5 ratings. This one have 4.9 rating, which is interesting. Why? Let's see. For the price of only 20 euro, this is superb quality, and this guy has put 4 stars. Superb quality, 4 stars. Thank you very much for ruining the ratings, but whatever. So it matters. It matters actually, but it's not something to be too mad about. Let's see. I also have bundles, by the way. If you are wondering if the courses are too expensive, you go to bundles. And in the bundles, you can find a couple of bundles like Blender courses, ZBrush and Blender anatomy bundle. I don't have anatomy bundle actually. I may do some anatomy bundle, only with anatomy courses. But yeah, the bundles are 35% off all the time. So that's it. And we have to finish this video. Any new courses coming? I'm thinking about making a course of leg and feet anatomy practices, but we'll see. Like the hand and arm, and like the face and the head, I will do leg and feet, and that will finish. Maybe torso someday, we'll see. I make a good character and then again totally forget how to make a face, and again revisit to your courses to remember again how to do it and make progress. Is it normal? Of course it's normal. The progress is never a straight line. It's always kind of going down. So you lose a little bit, then you gain more than you have before, then you lose a little bit sometimes. It's like this. Even if you work every day, it's a little bit like this. As a person just getting into Blender and 3D, how often should I change version of Blender? Should I just go from 4.1 to 4.2 while I'm still learning, or stick to a singular version? Probably stick to a singular version for a while. For example, now I'm using 4.00, and this is what I use for a long time, since it came up. And I don't change to a next version because I don't feel the need to. If the next version has something very, very nice for sculptors or for render that much, it has for render, but for sculptor, not. They are not changing the sculpting that much. The sculpting is good enough, even now. I would have hoped you had an animal anatomy, especially mammals. Also another fundamental course would be how to sculpt folds. By the way, it's a very good idea. So I have to make a course for folds and for animal anatomy. Animal anatomy will be horse and tiger, probably. It will be enough, I think. Horse and tiger, yes. And horses are very important because usually they are made with people. You made a cowboy on a horse, you have to make a horse. So horses are important. So yeah, that's a good idea. Folds course to make a couple of clothes. on character, because without character it will be bad. So with character, some folds, how to put the folds, where to put them, how to read references, and making a horse and a tiger in one course. A good idea. But in the video you sculpt the figure very easily and it looks amazing. I can barely make out a human face. How can I succeed? I told you. If you have like 100 hours of sculpting on your belt right now, you will not be able to do almost anything resembling a human face. But if you have 1000 hours of sculpting behind you, then you will be able to sculpt like me, kind of. 10,000 hours. How difficult to find a job as a 3D sculptor if you're good at it? Is it good portfolio enough? Yes, and you have to search for it. Nowadays, people are not actively searching, companies are not actively searching for 3D artists that much, or for any artists in that matter. Except for the gambling companies. They are searching for artists, but not 3D. 2D mostly, and AI, but whatever. So the idea is that nowadays, if you're good, you will find a job, inevitably. Because good artists and good people who are good at something, they are always valuable, and people are always searching for those people, you know, or companies. But it's difficult nowadays. Thank you for answering my previous question, by the way. You helped a lot. Thank you. I have a really hard time sculpting hands. Yeah, so that's why I made hands and arms anatomy exercises course. You can check it out. Okay, bye guys. See you in the next one, or the next two, or the next 3.